Yep, here we go. So, in this game, we have a match between Dadaru, the Terran player, up in the top left corner, and in the bottom right, it's Bofa's Silver. Alrighty. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this game goes. All I know is that it's just a long one. The guy that submitted it to me, I don't know which one of these people he is. The Bofa have a tendency to they're a wily bunch, one might say, who like to play with their names a bit. So you never quite know who is who. And I'm not sure who Dadaru is either. We're back on Gresvin, so this is actually from the last patch. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's going on here. Silver here tossing down a hatchery, just pretty standard stuff. And yeah, the guy that submitted this to me, the Emperor of Suganda, he actually is a player who's been described as refusing to move out from his base until he is maxed out on Broodlord, Infestor, Viper, Ultra, or whatever the perfect possible army composition he can comprise is, which would definitely make sense for the length of this game. And Dadaru, I don't know what's going on here exactly. He's building a second CC on the high ground, interestingly enough. I don't know what would have prompted him to do that, why he was so scared of whatever was going to be coming out that he decided to just kind of YOLO CC on the high ground there. But it is happening nonetheless. He's doing it actually very fast. Okay, so this is actually an early CC build, it looks like, out of Dadaru, because he's putting his CC down, yeah, before his gases. So, okay, that's actually kind of crafty. So he puts the CC down on the high ground before the gases, and then throws down the barracks here, so he gets the full wall off, without actually having to build the reactor, build a second depot, anything like that. So actually pretty crafty, I like it. And then just takes both gases at once afterwards. So pretty cool stuff there. I like that. And we've got, yeah, CC's. So yeah, CC's almost done now. Whereas a lot of the time this would be around when it would be starting. So yeah, interesting opener here out of Dadaru. Going for the orbital before he actually gets anything down there. Which is also kind of interesting, but I guess it takes about as much time to get those last two SCVs to fill that back up. And we got this little guy just kind of checking out, trying to figure out where the third base is. And he's, oh, he's found it! Yeah, good luck, buddy. And he just pisses off into the night. Silver here, dropping a little hard on his own shit. Looks like this SCV is going to survive. Nope, there he goes. There he goes. That was his last journey there. And yeah, now both players have got a Reaper coming out, a factory popping down, pretty standard stuff. And I do have to wonder, like, yeah, how much faster is this? This must have been CC first if the barracks and the CC finished so close to each other. So, and CC first into third CC directly after factory. This is a greedy boy, this Dadaru. This is an economy enjoyer right here. So I do wonder if perhaps this is our good Prime Minister of Suganda himself. We've got coming over here, just yeah, some pretty standard stuff here. We got hatches. We got, you know, it's a little late for the third hatch. To be done, it's actually just on time. So yeah, that all makes sense. God, this is so many CCs so fast. I mean, might as well, you know, you think like, oh, all I have to do is survive against Terran, and that's not what's gonna happen in this game. Definitely not. Dadaru's still behind a couple of workers, but given the fact that he has mules, I'd say he's slightly ahead economically, which is pretty rare for a Terran against a Zerg, especially at this stage of the game. We'll see how he keeps it up through the rest of it, but yeah, definitely that is some aggressive expansion for sure. Now finally getting the starport here, and the tech lab coming down. Looks like probably going to be some bio, but we'll have to see. Third base already floating over. That is wild. And yeah, the fourth base already going down for Silver. So yeah, got all these pillars. Oh man, remember the pillar days? I didn't even realize how many of these things there are until I see Silver just occupying all of them. He's got this wall of overlords on pillars. Gresvin is a very pillar happy map. There's dozens of these things. 5, 6, 7. I'm not counting all that. That that is outside my pay. Is that another? You've got to be kidding me. That's another CC. This is insane. This is a 4th CC already before 2nd or 3rd barracks. It's your classic 1-1-1-4. The 4, of course, being command centers. Yeah, so definitely quite the eco rush here out of Dadaru. But luckily it does not look like he's going to get punished for it at all, as Silver over here is just stacking up queens and trying to go for his own economy. Silver is still, Zerg strong race. Got a ton of drones up here, to the point where he has definitely taken an economic advantage. But we got the planetary up on the 3rd. Surprised it wasn't a orbital, but I guess it's a little bit risky to have your 3rd base that quickly without any real units, so the planetary can kind of help keep it safe from some basic ling run-bys if you're only just now going to build your first factory units. So, all right. Some widow mines out there burrowing. Okay. Yeah, fair. And the creep is starting to spread out as, Silver, being an utterly uninterrupted Zerg, is just honestly having a field day over here. I mean, for as many command centers as Dadaru has, little bop, and big bop. Tank. Right up there on the high ground. Going to clean all those little scouters up, but that was enough information to see what the heck Dadaru is actually doing, and for Silver to realize just exactly how safe he really is. He's got all these lings. He's like, what do I even do with these things? He's not going to attack me. How do I attack him? I don't even... What do I do here? So yeah, I mean, I guess you can just try and, take 2 or 3 more bases, spread creep all the way to the other guy's natural. More widow mines coming up. Is this just tank mech? This is looking like tank mech. Yeah, the barracks is definitely on add-on duty here. Oh boy. Oh dear. Okay. All right. We are in it for the long haul, as they say. 5th command center going down. And out of Silver here, a Spire is actually almost done. Another hatch going up, and he's just kind of getting everything. Burrow, Bane speed, Roach speed. He's just like, well, if he's not going to come at me, I'm just building a little bit of everything. Thor popping out. And then a battle cruiser for Dadaru. Dadaru just literally skipping every part of the game that is not the late game army and just going directly for Thors and battle cruisers. Chad Gamer, honestly. BC teleports in, is driven away by every queen in the entire multiverse. Gonna sneak on over here, maybe take out this Baneling nest. That would be a little bit of a pain, cause him to have to rebuild it if he wanted to try and do some roly-poly run-bys into any of those planetaries. But Transfuse is going to keep that alive more or less indefinitely, and this battlecruiser is a little bit trapped back here, actually. He did find a little bit of dead space behind those engineering bays, which is pretty problematic. But yeah, so he's going to be able to slip out and up. However, at this point, all Silver has to do is just bring his queens back up there. But instead, Dadaru says, nope, I'm out. Tactical cooldown, off CD. And is going to prepare that bad boy up as another one pops out. And we are just out here, cranking 3 Thors at a time. Just how you do. A second planetary is going up here as well. And another, this is 5th, 6th. He's just walling off as much of the map as he possibly can with command centers. A bold move for, and we'll have to see how it pays off. There's a certain limit to these things where I'm wondering, like, okay, yep, they're stacking up. They're stacking up. Ooh, we do have a nice little split there out of Silver. Triggers that Widowmine without taking too many losses, but I don't think those slings are going to get much done into double planetary. No 4th base yet, but maybe he'll just kind of create a wall of planetaries and just kind of like planetary hop his way over to maybe this 4th base. Yeah, he's taking gases there, so it does look like he's interested in it. His base has made its way into the DMs. We've got a couple of these battle cruisers going on over. They're on the walkabout. Gonna go try and see if they can snip a couple drones off. Maybe hit a gas geyser or two. And they are, yeah, they're gonna come in right up from the backside here, and they're trucking. Do immediately run into a spore, which they can start to pull down. That queen does not really have enough energy to transfuse. They do take one queen down, but the rest of these are going to be able to keep these battlecruisers at bay. Corruptors coming in, and those BCs are going to need to TP out, or else. Oh no, though. Over here, we do have a lot of roaches fighting into an army of Thors. No wonder those were getting microed. And yeah, the Hellbats are holding off the Lings for now. The Thors are going to be taking some damage here, definitely, but Thors are just such strong units, and now that the Planetary is finishing, double Planetary at the 4th, oh my god. He's got the macro orbitals just kind of chilling back, and then each base is a double Planetary. Holy moly. As then he just sits back and feels comfortable to just build, you know, Thor, Liberator, whatever high-tech, beefy tech units he wants to build. He's building up just a wall of commands, an absolute wall of command centers. Why build supply depots, though, honestly? I mean, it makes sense. Why build a supply depot when you can just build that many command centers? Like, why not, you know? Silver here already working on his +3 ground weapons, getting air weapons, ranged, missiles, starting to build a bit of a spore forest and a spine forest in particular. That is 6 spine crawlers going down out at this 3rd base here. Not entirely sure. It must be Hellions he's worried about. As he starts to take over this entire side of the map, just a ton of spines over here as well. Silver up, I guess he also just had so many drones. It's up to 89, 90 workers now is Silver, whereas Dadaru only on 72. So not as economically ahead. Silver is maxed out, but Dadaru's army is just so efficient right now. So it is definitely scary to imagine trying to engage into this. And now it looks, I mean, it's just like a busy, it's like a logistics hub going on in here. There's just all the little bases everywhere. We got the battle cruisers just kind of patrolling around, and yeah, can you break this base, Silver? I feel like if he does, it's probably not going to happen anytime too soon. Unfortunate pull up on the Widowmine there. But these roaches do get aggroed into the Planetary and are going to be minced up in short order. Yep, and away they go. We do have the Liberators starting to set up their little lib zones out here. Which, you know, much easier to own the libs on, you know, the internet, or at least so I'm told, than it is to actually deal with Liberators in StarCraft. So yeah, very strong unit. Yeah, really, Dadaru just out here with the highest DPS units in the game composition here with Thor Liberator. I mean, just the sheer volume of damage output coming from these guys is really pretty incredible. So yeah, we'll see what he decides to do with it, though. Dadaru is approaching max out, which is a great time to move out with an army like this. And then he can start, given that, I mean, both players are banking so much. Silver, though, he knows he's going to have a difficult time actually moving out. He is at a point, though, where he has a mostly maxed out, or a fully maxed out army that is increasing in quality, as he does have all of these Broodlords here flying around. That is a lot of Broodlords. We're looking at, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 Broodlords. But that's a lot of Thors. That is a lot of Thors. I mean, just right here, we have 9 of them, which 15's bigger than 9, definitely, but still a difficult engagement to tank, as long as there aren't any siege tanks to try and do any friendly fire or anything like that. Lib zones are going to be going up, however, not going to be super helpful against Silver's just glob of Broodlords here. Broodlord Corruptor with the Infestors down below as well. Oh man, we're back. It's Wings of Liberty, boys. Small little BC run by, I guess that's what you call it, flyby, BC flyby, coming up over here, kind of tickling the space a little bit. It does look like the pack of Corruptors is going to go over there and try to take care of that. Does force a TP off in towards the middle of the map. And out to safety as Silver content to just take the entire right side of the map. And Dotaru just content to take the left. Creep is definitely shoving very far up. I mean, at this point, Dotaru is going to have to start clearing up Creep if he even just wants to take another expansion. So that is going to be pretty rough for him. He's going to be floating this down there, and then he's going to come to a realization like, oh, I can't really do that. So yeah, we do have the Raven here though, which should help kind of clear that up. So yeah, but the Broodlords are making their way in. They're going to find that missile turret real fast. And they, wow, one volley from 15 Broodlords. Pulls immediately that command center down to half health. Takes out that auto turret there. And is going to start eating up on those Thors. We do have the Queens because the Creep, they're able to make it all the way out here. So, yeah. Whew. We have the Vipers now, starting on the Yoink train. Gonna start trying to pluck out Thors where they can, pluck out these Liberators to allow this army to just move up bit by bit. The CC is just confused. He's just hovering over. He's providing Overwatch. This is the aerial support. So many CCs. Oh my god, this is unbelievable. The sheer volume of CCs at this point. I mean, did he ever even build supply depots? How many supply depots did he have? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god. Yeah, Dotaru is maxed out on supply with 8 supply depots. That's it. Only 8 supply depots. All of the rest of his supply is just all of these command centers. That is crazy. That is the most commitment to command center I've ever seen. Oh my god. This is a game. I knew I was getting myself into something, but this is just crazy. The Broodlords throwing their Broodlings onto the opposite side as they kind of glitch through and just pop over there. It looks like they should like do some exploding damage on death or something. I think that might be kind of miserable. Looks like this 4th base, all the structures are going to get canceled, and this is going to get pushed back a little bit. Broodlords are going to be able to shove this back a little bit, but the Queens are going to have to deal with this battle cruiser here. And the Corruptors do finally come in. They are going to shut this down. Yup. No cancel is hit there. So that is one dead BC. And now we have Liberators coming over. We're going to try and make a dent in this air army. That is a lot of Liberators, which can definitely do some good splash damage. But we'll see how that ends up manifesting. A nice scan there. Gets a few good hits in on the Broodlord. These Planetary is great for cleaning up Broodlings just because they don't do any actual friendly fire. So it can be real helpful. It can chunk all the Broodlings without actually hurting you. Ooh, one Planetary is going to go down. Loses a Broodlord for it, but not the worst. Checking over here, units lost. Terran has lost a lot more units, but he does have just so many command centers. It's just such an efficient army that he's kind of allowed to be a little more frivolous with it. But at the same time, he really does need to make sure that he's winning fights if he's going to close this game out. Which, given the length of it, I don't know if he is going to close this game out. But yeah, you know, oh well. This is one of those times where I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I had somebody else in here with me to help tank some of this this game, because holy moly, it's just so turtly. Both players are playing so passively. We do have the Broodlords out here trying to chip away where they can. They are going to deny that extra base there for a little while, and that Burrowed Ling is actually doing a great job as well. A nuke gets launched Oh no! Is he gonna go for it? He does go for it. Gets the corruptors. Cheeto Dust gets slapped on, but he is going to be able to get out of there before the nuke does drop, and those Brood Lords are going to be safe. No solar eclipse happening this time. And yeah, and we're back to posturing. This is the part of the game where you really wonder, like, somebody has to be ahead here, but at the same time, this is so many planetaries. It's such a pain to chip through. I mean, Silver, with the massive bank, you'd think he'd be able to just start trading stuff into this, especially since he's been denying those other bases. But even at that point, if he does start foreheading into this, I mean, Dadaru doesn't have a ton of production. He's got a good amount, but it's only 5 factories, so that is good. I mean, that can churn out 5 Thors at a time, which is definitely good, but this should give Silver some opportunities. Luckily, he is going to be cleaning up a little bit of his supply here. It looks like Silver's just been cleaning up his own supply for quite a while, just building a forest of spore crawlers over here to try and keep those Thors at bay. And really just, we have this Team Fortress wall-off versus wall-off of points here, where Silver has decided to build a spine fortress right out in front of this choke point here. And we've got the double planetary here for Dadaru. The Liberators are going to come in with the Cheeto Dust doing big damage with that AoE. Oh my god, those Liberators are actually doing a ton of damage. They did get hit with a couple of parasitic bombs, but that was a fantastic fight for Dadaru. Just getting some massive Liberator AoE. Once you really do get a critical mass of Liberators, a few Liberators is not much, but a critical mass of them can really do a lot of work. Does just barely dodge that EMP with those Infestors while getting a cheeky little fungal off there. And he's going to go back in, it looks like, and keep trying to chip away at this planetary. But the repair does look like it is going to be coming in for Dadaru in order to clear this off. He is going to have to move this back and have to pull up all of his spines. And yeah, that is actually a great deal there, the nuke against these kinds of enforcements, because you have to move back. Basically, every nuke just gets you 1 nuke's worth of space. Your opponent who is entrenched has to move back. So pretty good little tactical maneuver there, though he is going to have to clear up this creep if he wants to actually move, I guess, some more planetaries to this side of the choke point. I don't know what the scheme is here exactly. Pop a planetary right here maybe, put some lib zones here and just keep pushing and pushing. Yeah. Oh boy, but we do have Silver rotating on around over to the side here. The Liberators not gonna get anything done that time. The Overseers are going to help clean up some of these Widow Mines, and it does look like the Brood Lords are going to start chipping away at this base. The Thor here getting yoinked out. Good little pick there. Dadaru's still up 20 plus supply. Silver somehow has not actually rebuilt as much as I thought he would, given the fact that he has an 18k bank. Another quick yoink there by the Viper, but these Liberators coming back in again. Parasitic Bomb plus Fungal, meaning they cannot split. Oh no! All the Liberators are going to go down except for just a measly 3. That was some good fighting there out of Silver, getting those Fungal and the Parasitic Bomb, meaning that he can't really run his units away, and they're just kind of stuck in the Parabomb. That was gnarly. And we're back to watch these flappy boys flap. I wonder if somebody must have made at some point in time a flash game of Flappy Brood, that's got to be a thing, right? The Flappy Brood flash game. You try and flap your little boys as hard as they can go. It's static defense, not exact. Oh no, this is actually Zerg static defense. It's just so far over here that I can't help but assume that this is Dotaru's doing, but no, this is actually coming out of Silver here. We are cruising along. These guys are, I'd say they're cooking, but also at the same time, it has been long enough. We do get a Hellion run by into the main. These Hellions get to just slip right on by. Spore Forest goes up in response. And Silver now with his 37 workers still feeling pretty comfy given the fact that he's banked 14k, 14k. Holy moly. He's like, yeah, screw it, kill my drones. How am I even going to spend this money if I wanted to? How am I going to do it? What's the plan there? So, yeah. These roaches do look like they're going to be able to clean up this Hellbat pretty easily. We have a little bit of skirmishing going on down here. Broodlord's coming in, but once again getting pushed back by a nuke. And these are some late game enjoyers right here. This is a macro game if I've ever seen one. Oh my god. 25 minutes and I could not tell you. I mean, Silver's definitely ahead in terms of the amount of map that he has controlled, just through all of his static D and through all of his base denials. He does have basically an extra base up on, but even then, oh man, this is so rough. Yeah, so Silver does have the extra base up here, which means in the Giga late game, he is going to be ahead. And managed to snipe a Planetary over here again. Ooh, lots of snipes going off on those Broodlords from Dotaru. Silver is going to need to try and do something to remax back up to this. And it looks like it is going to be more Broodlords morphing out of those Corruptors that have been moving along with the pack. Wow. Sometimes in a game like this, you just have to do this. You just have to take a minute to enjoy the ungulation, the wiggling of the Broodlord as he just flaps there majestically in the wind. And yeah, I just had to take a little breather there, reset my sanity a little bit, and then I come back and sure enough, we've got a command center building slightly off center here, and that appears to be the majority of the action that has taken place in my brief brain turn off moment that we were having right there. What is this game, you guys? You have the armies. You have the armies. Use them. Use them for fighting. These are fighting units. There is no... You can't have a coalition victory. You can't build the 7 wonders. You do have to kill your opponent. That is what I might call a mandatory portion of StarCraft 2. I mean, Silver is up a base, so he does sort of have the economic win condition in a way where he could conceivably mine out the whole map and trade down a base entirely and still come out okay. But even then, you got to start trading when you got a bank like that. You know, you want to start trading, right? It is a fine line, I'll admit, because it can be very difficult because if you're in the wrong spot, just these armies are so high damage that it can just be absolutely devastating if you get caught out. And we do see the Liberators starting to move forward here. Corruptors are going to push them back a little bit, and that's so many Liberators. It's just pure Liberator. Wow. And so that is actually really dangerous to engage into. Very difficult for Silver to deal with because those Liberators can just one-shot or two-shot a pack of Broods. I mean, that is so many Libs that the AoE damage becomes a real threat, and any ground unit that walks in there is just instantly vaporized. And then anything on the ground, these Thors are just going to clean up, and it looks like Dotaru is going to go make some headway and get that base back. Aw, yeah, you're going to have to clean up that creep there, though, buddy. That is That is in the way of your base excursion. Ooh, parasitic bomb going down on the Liberators. They need to get out of there and start splitting, but instead they're just running back. Oh, he does split him out. And okay, those do survive. Vipers, fantastic units against clumps. So that's sort of the counter clump tech here, coming in out of Silver. God, yeah. What are these Thors doing? Are they trapped? They can't even move. There's just too many command centers. We got the wedge of Liberators here. They're like one of those, like when you take a deck of cards and just fan them out. Ah, beautiful thing. And yeah, holy moly. Ghosts coming over here. This is the 4 ghost hit squad. Blap and an Overseer. And yeah, this is the 4 ghost anti-creep squad. Boop. Gonna be starting to try and take a little bit of map control back. I think Daughter realizing it's mechanically possible for him to win a fight. Still doesn't know about that last creep tumor though. Oh no. Oh, poor Daughter. One day. Okay, the ghost squad is over and they've taken it out. All right. That's what this is the infantry. It's just a squad of ghosts. Oh, those corruptors though are gonna make a dent on that CC and are gonna try and make it difficult. Yoinks a Liberator real quick right there. That is a lot of ghosts though, which can be difficult for Broodlords to deal with unless there are some infestors to fungal them all in place. But again, then it goes back to if the ghosts can EMP the infestors. So definitely, yeah. There's a lot of tiny moments where it seems like nothing's happening, but in a flash, we could get just a massive upset. You know, these armies, again, they deal so much damage that, you know, the wrong clumping, the wrong positioning, and either one of these could really take out the other, just coming down to a few spell casts and things like that. And it looks like finally Daughter is going to get in here. Ooh, big Cheeto missile. Gets blopped on there. The Liberators do not decide to chase in, even though there was a bit of a soft moment there. But also not choosing to move up, just really wants this base a lot. But he has so many Thors, they're too fat to get out of the way. Can't even land it. Looks like, yeah, that missile is wearing off. And we're just on full Viper, Broodlord, and Fester Corruptor. Versus just your classic Thor, Liberator, and Ghost with the one medevac, I guess. We do have a BC, the BC from forever ago, going over and thinning off a couple of Silver's workers. Still, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult at this phase of the game to get through his 17k bank. Both players with just absolutely monumental banks. Normally, resource harassment is so important, but at this point, I mean, you can just build more workers than you're going to need all game in less than a minute. So yeah, that kind of damage is not really the kind of damage. It's much more at this point about bases and about you know, who's gonna get the resources in the long game, and then who can take good fights when it comes down to it. So yeah, we'll see who decides to actually start making some moves though. We do have Silver kind of just wandering around over here. Looks like we might do some yoinking. Yep. Grabs the Thor, doesn't have the Broodlords close enough though to actually finish it off. Gives it another tongue licky, and another tongue licky, and does finally finish off that one Thor, which I imagine should get rebuilt pretty quickly, given the 6 factories worth of production and a 10k bank. Silver just trying to bleed out drones here. Trying to get a nice little spore forest here for his Vipers to start harvesting off of. And I knew I was getting myself into some shit, but this is a game. Oh my god. My brain is just turning to absolute string cheese already, watching these guys just do a bit of the old jerkin. Giving the old Festa a bit of a rub, polishing the old Thor, as they say. We do have a little bit of a move out here from Silver, and is going to try and take out these planetaries, which that many Broodlords is going to be able to do pretty quickly. Does get to pull in the one Liberator, which should be able to help a little bit. And those ghosts get trapped underneath the broodlords. All the broodlings do get cleaned up pretty quickly by their own death timers. But that is one of those two planetaries that does go down. Missile turret goes down real quick. Broodlord's just fantastic at taking out those static defenses. And the second planetary does go down here, which means that the pathway is opened up a little bit. Yamato takes out a Broodlord, and both players are down a little bit in supply. Production tab is some Hellbats and some Ghosts, whereas the Liberators are just trying to siege up, just really don't want those Infestors to be able to get into range there. And he's just immediately rebuilding the planetaries. He's like, no, my defenses! This is just like, this is two campaign AIs just having at it with each other. Trying to think like, how can I just hold out until Raynor gets here with the Hyperion? Not realizing that Raynor is not coming. The Hyperion is not in this game. Kerrigan's not going to show up and just fucking ascend. Chipping away little bit by little bit at those missile turrets. Does get another nice Parasitic Bomb and a Fungal off there. However, the Liberators are able to get pulled away. Parasitic Bomb again going down. Very nice. Does hit a little cloud there, and those Liberators are forced to unsiege. Those are pretty low health now. The base has never actually really been cemented over here for Dotaru. I don't know what's been going on with that base. It's floating over here again. I don't understand why he doesn't just put the base down. Just put it down. You got all these SCVs just hanging out. Nothing's mining off of these minerals. He's got so many bases, so many minerals, but none of it makes sense. And they've just achieved such a stalemate. Is going to be able to force these two CCs to lift, but then they lift and the Broodlords can't shoot them. The Corruptors might be able to go in, start picking a few things off here and there. It does look like, yeah, I mean, Silver should be able to start really threatening a lot of these. He has a good opportunity to pick off a lot of these side defenses, and then once he picks off these missile turrets, suddenly this planetary is very exposed, and he can actually start to whittle away these bases. And then if he can just keep pulling bit by bit these various Liberators, I mean, he will eventually be able to grind out Dotaru. And Dotaru, you know, still has, I mean, a very, very powerful army. Another Fungal there does go down. Those Liberators decide to nope right on out. They're not about to try and get Frisky over too close to creep. And yeah, we got the Thor ball versus the Broodlord ball. I mean, both of these, there's so much just who gets the jump on who that can really determine these kinds of fights. These Thors actually getting pulled in while the Broodlords are on cooldown. A little unfortunate, meaning that they do have a good bit of time where they got to chunk away another Broodlord. And now we're sucking off the Spine Forest. And these Vipers just getting ready for another round. But Dotaru, of course, already remaxed back up on Thors. Now with a few Vikings and another entire suite of Liberators has been created. So yeah. So many Infestors. No Infested Terrans. It's not free units, but you can start trading, you know, caster energy, of course, for taking good fights. So yeah, and it looks like Silver over here has decided to give up on that particular position. These two Thors just kind of running by, completely unfazed by these Spine Crawlers. And we are getting a little bit of pick away at these command centers over here. A couple of yoinks does snip off that Liberator pretty quickly. But the Infestors here still not really able to quite make too much headway into here. We got some repair over there on those Liberators that got bonged up a little bit. And yeah, holy moly. There's an element of just trying to avoid the lib zone, so I know it's also really the sort of the invisible Thor zones, which are just absolutely massive sources of DPS. A couple of Cyclones, of all things, going in here and trying to do a little run by, get cleaned up by Lings. So that's an interaction I wasn't expecting in this phase of the game. And yeah, we've got two big balls. This is just two big balls in the same sack. The sack in this case is Gresvin. And the two balls are just electing to kind of tickle each other bit by bit. Just kind of rubbing around in there, wrestling, grabbing each other's vacillary stem or whatever the fuck carries all the speed bits or whatever. Yeah, 2x please, I think is a fucking solid marker here. I am just absolutely losing it here. Let's, how do we even, in WCS, how do you even pull speed faster? Can we do have a little pop out here? No, that's the, all right, plus maybe? Okay, yeah, plus is doing it. We are getting some action down over here. Nope, just kidding. They are running away from each other, and yeah, we are going to just zoom our way on through this. This has been 40 minutes of me absolutely losing my mind. However, Silver has very kindly decided to give me a good idea as to how to start getting through here. Broodlings do crash in here, pick off a couple of these, and yep, we do get a little bit here. Oh, the Thors are starting to get nommed on. We do run away. Parasitic bomb there. The Overlords are coming in, potentially for some tanking, maybe. They do appear to be control grouped in, so yeah, we got some Overlords just kind of vibing around over there. And yeah, we're back to Action Town. This ain't me. Fuck the Zerg. Is that a Silver imposter? Is that perhaps our good Emperor of Suganda, the OG Thundershaft himself? Oh my god. We moving. Oh, Lings of all things take down this planetary fortress. Not what I was expecting. Oh no, but they do finally actually get pulled away. The Vikings do kind of shake it off a little bit there. And yeah, let's yeah. We've got yet another stalemate over here. I'm gonna go all the way up to 4x here. We are just going to be cranking. Another Ling run by does get down there and gets rebuffed. Some ghosts move up, some ghosts move back. The ghosts die. Some broodlings exist. Maybe parasitic bombed himself. Not sure if that's possible. The Lings once again attempt to kill the planetary. If at first you don't succeed, just send Lings again, I guess. Could go somewhere else in theory, but nope. And he is gonna rotate around here. Is gonna rotate around and kind of tickle that planetary a little bit. Does take it out. Pulls the Thors out of position. Does not decide to capitalize on the fact that the Thors are out of the position, and instead just decides to kind of vibe for a little bit. Ooh, nice fungal on the ghosts there. Very good. Does save a lot of energy on a lot of these casting units. Grip of Overseers here. And yeah, let's start trying to chip away at some of this. The ghosts are going to be coming in here. Get some good damage on those Broodlords there, but not enough to really push them back too much. The Ling's actually getting up and towards the main here, but the Thors just doing a bit too much damage. And Silver is actually starting to bleed supply here. Is of course immediately back up to 200, given the fact that he is at 25. Yeah, and yes, the empty planetary does finally fall. Some of these other empty planetaries. It's like, at what point is it made apparent to the players that bases are no longer what's going to decide the outcome of this game, in which both players have more minerals banked up that they're going to be mechanically able to spend? I mean, I guess if really you're just absolutely trying to choke them out, you can just keep even trading, but holy goddamn moly. Oh, we're getting a little bit of action here. Couple Broodlords, but then the Broodlords are back in the cluster. This is like everything that everybody ever hated about Heart of the Swarm. Just boom, right here. Back, baby. Legacy of the fucking Annoyed. Oh my god. It's the game that never ends. It just goes on and on. My friends. He's fucking gives a Thor a yank. He sends his liberators for a wank. He's always going back and forth. He's got his Broodlords in a clump. We've got another couple spines. We've got some Overseers. Why? I guess to see the ghosts or something, I don't really know. You'd think with all these siege units, some sieging might happen, but no, it's the game that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Holy God almighty, please something happen. Instead we get some broodlords crapping, another sea of little mites. God. And they've replenished. Wow, look at, they're back. Oh my God, some units die. And they're back. We only have 21,000, 30,000 more minerals to slog through with another 15k gas. Oh my God, it's a corruptor run by? Who does a corruptor run by? But it worked, I guess. It killed liberators, but... I guess that lets the lings get in there, but the ghosts... And I mean, I guess that was a play. Like, that was a play. I can't be mad. That was a play. Like, oh my God, what is this patrol command center? You've got to be fucking kidding me. What am I witnessing? Are these players just away? Are they trolling themselves? What is going, what are these doing? They're at full energy. Just, and everything, oh my God. It's like Dadaru at this point has just completely lost his mind. I'm not sure Silver ever had one. And here we are, just whittling away, bit by bit by bit. I mean, more spores, I think, than I've seen built in, like, the last, I mean, it's certainly in the last 2 tournaments that I've cast, cumulatively. God, yeah, and I mean, a grip of ghosts, good units, it makes sense. Why is he picking the Thor up? Where's that Thor going? What? He picked it up. He just put it down over there. What the frick? They're losing their minds as much as I am. I mean, they've been in this for an hour too. So, like, I get it. But holy God almighty. Y'all chose to play this way. I mean, I guess if this is what you want, like, don't patrol your command centers about it. What the freak is going on? And I mean, just the absolute smothering here of the Zerg. I mean, it looks like he is going to chip in. I mean, he's got the bigger bank. He's had the better army for a long time. And now he just needs to execute on it. Spend that Viper energy. Get the picks. Move forward. I mean, the ghosts are good, though, because if you're too frisky with the Vipers, that now he can't even move his infestors through there. He's, like, full-walled himself off. So he can't even move any of his casters on the ground in there. It's just an air army only. We're doing that. No, you can't just do the Broodling send. It's not real. That's not a real thing. You're not allowed to do that. That was banned. I don't remember who banned it, but that's an illegal maneuver now. It's more of this. Dadaru just hates landing his command centers. I still remember when he had this fucking command center over here for like 45 minutes, and they're like, yeah, we're going for a macro game. We got to get all the resources. Then he's just like, this big battle. It's like the only tense thing that happened for like forever was like fighting over this. And then he doesn't even mind it for the next 40 minutes. It's like, bro, what the hell? What was that about then? What were we doing? It's just like scientifically engineered to never fucking go anywhere. My God. I mean, it's just something else. This is something else. The patrolling. You're allowed to leave the game. My man. You are. The F10 N ends the game. You do not have to wait for somebody to Nidus lings of all things into your fucking base. Is that it? That kills the production. After all this, a Nidus of lings kills the production. And then the game's just up. I mean, the game's been over. Is this a floating building ass? Yeah, he's floating all his factories. Son of a bitch. Oh my God. You did this to yourself, Dadaru. How can you salt mode right now? You did this to yourself. I mean, yeah, like, also, Bofa did this to you. Like, I get that. but like y'all both wanted this. Like this is the like just going full hog, like fucking dicks out, and then like just complaining that, oh yeah, that the hot Hellion pickup drops. Yeah, this is just fuck. I don't even know where this metaphor is going. This is just, I've completely lost it at this point. And finally, Dadaru was defeated. I guess congratulations to Bofa, the allegedly silver, but potentially an imposter. No GG, despite the fact that is, I mean, apart from the fact that he lost, that's exactly what the fuck Dadaru wanted to happen. Like, what else? You're gonna just turtle up. He was literally building all commands. He had 8 fucking, what are those shits called? He had 8 supply depots that whole game. He's maxed out with 8 supply depots. Like, literally just mono command center, double planetary at every base, and then gets pissed off that he gets locked in a fucking stalemate. Like, what am I supposed to do for you, bud? What the fuck's your opponent supposed to do for you, bud? If you don't like that, maybe you shouldn't play the game like that. And if you do, then maybe GG, the one guy who you run into that actually wants to play the game like that. God damn. I need a fucking...